And one. Yeah, there we go. We got all three platforms. So welcome to another episode of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jody.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Nikki.
Tim.
We have just gone live. We got that out first go. When there's a few of us here, it's always interesting. But we're here live tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So thank you all for joining us, whether you're watching live or tuning in later on, be it via video or audio. Then yeah, please do get involved in the comments and the chat and that as we go along. If you'd be so kind to share this around, that'd be greatly appreciated. So yeah, feel free to like, comment, share, do all those usual things. Tonight we're going to be covering the latest releases from Of Mice and Men, GWAR, Bloodbound, and Silver Lake. We'll have a lot of other stuff in here too. We're going to have a bit of fun with the gig guide in just a moment with Jody and Nikki here with us on the Sunday sessions like we have started to kick off now. And generally speaking, we're going to try and make this one as entertaining, as fun as we can because it's a cold fucking night here in Melbourne and we're all in lockdown. So we're going to try and make this a little bit more fun than usual. Oh, Jody's clearly excited for that. All right, but anyway, okay, this is going to be fun. All right, so yeah, there's a lot to get through tonight. Make sure you follow us and find us. Our details are in the description of this. Check out all the links there. Like, follow, subscribe, all the usual things that everyone gets you to do. Check out our sponsors too, if you'd be so kind. A big thank you to Squidding, Screen Printing, Alt Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Give them a follow. Their details, just like ours, are in the description. And if you want to help us yourself, check out our Patreon page or our PayPal link and all sorts of stuff there is there for everyone to check out too. Got some regulars joining us. Thanks for jumping in again. So Nudes, hi again to you, our good friend Nudes, and also Michael, another regular. Thank you for jumping in and saying, hey, good to see you. Everyone's here nice and early tonight, and we're going to have some fun. Before we get stuck in everything tonight, let's, here we go. A new face from YouTube. Awesome. Cool. Benjamin Payne. Hey, from New Zealand. Well, cool.
Hey, awesome. Weaponry, New Zealand. Fuck yeah.
There we go. All right. Before we get stuck into proceedings tonight, let's just do the round table and how everyone's going. So, did you want to go first and how you've been going, or are you going to just?
I'm in lockdown. It's Netflix all weekend.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm in lockdown watching Netflix.
How about you, Brendan?
We got a new cat, which
Cool.
she's not real happy. She's not adapting too well so far, so hopefully that works out because she's fucking gorgeous. But anyway,
I heard a pussy whisperer. Make it happen.
yeah, I'm like with pussy. I'm not great. So
I tried.
I'm so glad somebody else went there because that's what
what else have I done so far? So I started, because I was just sort of locked in a room with this poor cat, I started watching Schitt's Creek again for the third time. And,
Oh my God, it's not that good.
it is that good. It is that good. It's definitely that good. And been listening to a lot of vinyl because, that's my new thing because I'm a hypocritical So, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago you were bidding vinyl snobs.
I know, that's it. I said before you jumped in, Tim, that we're going to cut together this montage of Brendan going from that little binge segment to the vinyl snobs to what he said, even including today. There's going to be this segmented thing about Brendan's conversion from hating the snobs to becoming the snobs. It's Animal Farm Tantra style.
See?
There we go.
I made one.
You need to buy this,
I
people.
like digital. You can still do that too.
Mine's bigger, Brendan. That's all I'm saying.
You don't have any choice to be a vinyl snob anymore because it's the only medium we have left. So
Yeah, well, there you go. Oh, wow. Anything else you want to add to that, apart from the cat and listen to music, or is that's it?
lockdown, bitches.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What about you, Nikki? How you going?
Mate, it's been a weekend of highs. It's been a weekend of lows. So I'm renovating my kitchen at the moment. Yeah, right. Like a fucking master of puppets.
That's exciting.
So renovating the kitchen at the moment. So I spent yesterday literally fucking squatting and bending over with a heat gun, pulling up lino from the kitchen floor. And today I feel like 170 because it's back-breaking work and I'm not as young as I used to be. However, the high is, and I need to say this, and he's watching, so that's even fucking better. Nudes!
The glue.
Fucking legend. Hey?
No, I said the high is the glue.
Oh, well, that too. I was melting it with a gun. No, this is a really fucking cool story, and it's to do with the Hard Rock Show Lounge. So if you're not in the lounge, get in it. So Nudes put up a post, and he asked, what are your top 5 power metal rock ballads? And I went, ooh, running with this and stealing it. So I decided to create a playlist on Spotify because there was some fucking great suggestions on there. And then I just opened it up. I said, everyone add to this playlist. It's got like 200 songs on it. There's been 11 people contribute to it. And because I was in the kitchen with a fucking gun pulling up vinyl, I didn't know what was coming up next. And there was so many great songs that I totally forgot about. And there was a whole bunch of songs I had no idea about that I'd run in and look at the TV just to see who the artist and the song was. It was fucking awesome. So thank you, Nudes. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Tim Caterson. Thank you, Les. Massively thank you, Les, because he put a whole bunch of Australian ballads on there. Who else? Anth contributed. Dave Fowler. Elaine. It fucking turned out to be bigger than Ben Hur, and it gave me a kick fucking working away in the kitchen. It was fucking awesome. And I did listen to it again today when I went Pokemon hunting. It was brilliant.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm losing my shit at the comments. I'll go to those in a second. The comments that are fucking hilarious are coming through tonight. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Nikki, when you do jump out later on, because Nikki's going to be here for the gig guide and stuff, and then after that, but send that playlist into the comments. Or David, you're here as well. So anyone that wants to share that playlist in the comments, then by all means, please feel free to do so.
And actually,
yeah.
it's an open playlist, but it's got to be rock or metal power ballad. That's my only rule.
Cool. Anything else you wanted to go with there, Nikki, or is that you wrapped up for how you
I
are?
think I'm done now.
Okay, have a smoke. Tim, how about you?
It's lockdown.
Yep.
Xbox, Uber Eats, and Xbox.
Oh, PlayStation, you racist bastard.
Oh. Once you go Game Pass, you never go back.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Game Pass kills it.
Yep. Nice.
But yeah, that's my life now until we get back out of lockdown.
Yep. Cool. I'm lucky. I got the confirmation the other day that I'll be able to go back to work on Monday, so it'll be making it less boring for me, which is cool. But apart from that, yeah, it's been sitting at home, doing sweet fuck all over the weekend, just staying warm inside with the family and the dogs and listening to music. That's been it. Not much more to say about that. It could be a lot worse than that. But, this is not bad at all. So, for now, it's all good. Back to work tomorrow, though, which is, how it goes.
Yeah.
So here we go. Going back through those comments because there's some rippers in here that have jumped in tonight. Darren Humphries has gone, well, New Zealand can give our Prime Minister if they want, so that's for you, Benjamin.
I can.
He can stay over there. 100%. Benjamin also jumped in to say, you must remember that conversation a few weeks ago for the Metal Festival. Yes, I do now, so thank you for jogging the memory there. What else he got here? He's also on fucking spotting here too, but it was weed. So there we go. And then he's followed that up with, she says fuck even more than me. How is this possible? So
Don't talk about Jodie like that. Jodie's a lady.
On the lady.
Yeah. Well, we'll go with that as a theory. Anyway, so Lee MacDonald, hello Lee, jumped in. Geez, from there I thought Nude sent Nikki some nudes. Well, who knows?
No one said he didn't.
I believe he's a family man, but for those of you who aren't family men and single, sure.
Whoa, okay, Nikki, you've just opened yourself all the shit.
R.I.P. to Nikki's DMs.
Yeah.
I'll just put Nikki's mobile number in the comments.
I do not think so, Mr. Brendan.
Oh, this could get interesting really quickly. David jumped in to say that he was listening to the playlist yesterday, which is cool. And Nude said, apparently I'm the only one that can't work Spotify. Well, no, you're not the only one because
Darren, you poor challenged man. That's all I can say.
Okay. Now you should send a nude to her. Now Darren also said that he's not on Spotify or any other music platform, which is what it is. But Golden Roll Records, our good friends over there, jumped in.
Darren, he had some champion suggestions. I do need to highlight Darren. He had some wicked suggestions. Golden Robot. What have they got to say?
Whitesnake all the way. They jumped in.
Yes. Here I go again, made it on there.
Okay, cool. David has linked it in our Facebook comments if you want to go and check that out. And Lee also said, Nikki, more than woman. So there we go. David has jumped in as well. So David Lee, Daniel, good to see you all. Good to have you with us here tonight. Thank you for jumping in.
I don't have it on my pitch tonight. Sorry, Daniel.
And our good friends over at Shotgun Mistress, all looking hot. Well, we aim to please, so there you go. we put in a lot of effort in our appearance, if you can't tell. Jody does.
Oh, yeah. I put mascara on.
I told you looked hot tonight, Jody. Before we go on there, I told Jody she looked hot. Confirmed.
I put my hair up the ponytail.
Yeah, I know. It's spectacular.
It's all you need, baby. It's all you fucking need.
oh, Benjamin. It's funny with the last name Payne because I'm feeling it right now. I'm engaged to an American with massive boobs. Never been able to meet because of COVID. Fucking brilliant timing. Oh, yep.
Sorry to hear, man.
Yeah, feeling your pain there.
Rough times.
Yeah.
It is good times. It's a very interesting world that we live in at the moment. Hopefully it'll all settle down soon enough. But I think we should move into the first part of tonight's fun and games, and that's the gig guide, isn't it, Nikki?
Woohoo! Let's talk about the gig guide. We're going to talk about what we hope is going to happen, COVID and lockdowns preventing. So have a listen to what's coming up. Hopefully these dates will remain sticky, but over to my girl Jodes to kick it off.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, next Saturday, June the 5th at Whole Lotta Love, Shotgun Mistress, Eat the Damn Orange, and Riot After Midnight, apparently, hopefully, fingers crossed, playing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely fingers crossed. Sunday, 6th of June, Acolyte is streaming their performance for Live at Chapel Off Chapel, and this is a global event. And jump on the Acolyte page and you can get the details on how you can actually join in on that and witness it because they're fucking amazing. You really do want to get on that.
Yep.
Awesome. On Saturday, June the 12th, that's Stay Gold. Metal United Down Under with Temtris, Demonhead, Katana, Cartel, Rawtism, and more. So check that out.
That's
There's
a big
definitely
one.
going to be a big one.
And who are we talking to on
Tuesday?
Tuesday,
Pardon?
Who are we talking to on Tuesday, Nikki?
Oh, that'd be Tom. I think we're talking to Tom about Metal United Down Under.
Yep.
Woohoo.
It's going to be awesome. Now we're going out to the Burbs for this one. Friday, 25th of June at the Shopping Town Hotel, which is just off the freeway, easy as fuck to get to, no excuses. The beautiful Carly Jewel, who we absolutely love. Fight the Sun. Can I just say, I put their EP in my top 10s a few years ago. Fucking cracker band. Assassins and the Reason Why. Also cracker. Get there.
If I'm correct, I think it's Carly Jewel are calling that their last gig for the year as well, if I'm correct. But, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. Give us some confirmation on that, but I think they're going to go back into the studio after this one, so there we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Next up is Friday, July the 3rd at Whole Lotta Love, Frankenbach, Rattleback, and Red Peril.
That's going to be killer.
Not going to dance tonight, Nikki?
Sorry?
Not dancing tonight?
Oh, I have something prepared for later, but you know.
Okay. I'll keep that.
Okay, Friday, 9th of July at Max Watts. King Parrot are playing to celebrate 10 years as a band. They're fucking amazing. You need to get on that shit.
Definitely.
Yep.
On Friday, July the 16th at Stay Gold, Orpheus Omega are touring for the 10th anniversary of Bleed the Way with special guest Triple Kill. There we go.
Yep.
Hey, what do you get if you cross Orpheus Omega with Triple Kill?
Your wardrobe?
Yes! My fucking wardrobe!
Brendan.
It's not in my head. And what can I say? All right, so another cracker, Saturday, July 24th at Mr. Boogeyman Bar, who are fucking amazing and support everyone. Go down and see Jackson the Crew, Virgin Soldiers and Dirty Rats as part of the We Ain't Dead Yet tour. You need to get there.
Nikki's doing her own best. Adrian!
We're not dead yet.
It's very good day. Sorry, back to you, Joe.
Okay, Saturday for September the 4th, Hell on the Bay 8. Waiting for more information to be spread about this, but it's still coming.
Getting in early on that one. Spread the word, folks.
Saturday, September 18th at the Bendigo Hotel. Stalker from New Zealand, brother. New fucking Zealand. They're here with Black Magic on the Black Magic Terror Australian tour. So that will also be something to look at. But guess what? All lineups and events are subject to change. So stay up to date on the socials and make sure you're abreast of any situation that might occur. Fuck you, COVID.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
All right. Got some comments coming through here too. So Lee jumped in before to say Tim put in a top-notch effort with his appearance, Ultimate Grizzly. So there we go. This is the
This is true. I spend hours putting my face on, so I'm just glad people notice.
Following up, Benjamin jumped in and said, I've been waiting 2 years for boobs, so that sucks. I don't know what else to say to that, but that sucks. But he also said, do any of you guys know a band called Battlesnake? I've heard the name. Is anyone else more familiar with them? Or?
No, I just know the name.
So feel free to... maybe. Benjamin, feel free to shoot us some links in the comments there. We'll go and try and check some things out later on. David Lee Daniel said, fingers crossed we can do this, Legends. Yes, he is hoping that we can all get out and do some things.
Do some gigs, hell yeah.
Yeah, and Ben, a regular of ours, something to say, are we still in contact with Shane? If so, we need to get him on as a guest. We do have plans for all those things to happen, mostly looking at August for all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for all that sort of stuff. We have some special ideas in mind to celebrate the 10 years of what we do here. This stupidity is going forward. Benjamin jumped in to say it's an Australian band, so please do, like I said, put some links in the comments and hopefully we'll all go and check out those things. If you are interested in following any of those gigs we did mention just before, they are in the description of this. They're all linked up there, so please do go and check those out for more information on all that sort of stuff while we move along. And so next up, it is into the hot topic, and this is very much on the fly. I think it was you basically saying what it was.
Well, everyone was sort of trying to come up with an idea of we're in lockdown, so got nothing to really talk about. So I was like, well, let's talk about what we do in lockdown.
Yeah. So the idea here is, and this will be very, very cool too, to get some audience interaction on this one too. So it's basically, how is everyone trying to entertain themselves throughout lockdown?
And keep it clean.
For those of you who are in Victoria,
yeah, we're veterans now.
What are you doing? And for those of you outside of Victoria, let us live vicariously through you. And let us know what you're doing.
Well, last night, Nudes was putting up, this sounds great, Nudes was putting up all these photos from the Temtris gig at the Enigma Bar in Adelaide, and I was a very jealous woman indeed. That looked like an absolute hoot.
Cool. I'm just following some comments here. So make sure you get into this one. So what are you doing to entertain yourselves during this period of time? So for us in Victoria, we're in lockdown. So what are we all doing to entertain ourselves? And for those outside, let us know what you're up to so that, like Tim said, we can live vicariously through you. Some extra gigs been mentioned here. So David Fowler, good friend of ours as well. Don't know if you got we didn't have this one on the thing, but Desecrated Alive till Death Anniversary with Harlot and Gutless pushed back to June 11th. Okay, so I'll have to make a note of that.
That'll be a good show.
For sure.
And Harlot. Don't know Gutless.
What was that?
No, never mind. Go, crack on.
And then we got Thy Art Is Murder apparently touring in June, July. So
they are. If anyone's going to the Frankston show, come say hi.
Okay, cool.
Tim, hi. Can I?
Yeah, come along, Nikki.
I would actually fucking love to. Is it at the pier?
Yeah, come on. They're playing in Frankston.
At the pier?
Yeah.
In the band room?
Yeah.
awesome. I fucking
No,
love
I
it.
was murderer playing in the bistro. Like, come on.
Well, they could be playing the Pally Bar.
There's different places of the pier, but the band room is where it's at, and that's where I would expect them to be.
Oh, the Pally Bar is pretty good.
They're playing in the poker.
Yeah, scare the pensioners off.
Well, you can't play kittens anymore, so.
True.
I know. I was very sad when that closed down. Where was I going to get my fun?
Oh fuck!
Feel the same way.
Hey. Okay.
Inside voice.
Slight lag
Keep
going
talking.
on.
Someone talk.
Yeah, okay. Benjamin jumped in to say you guys have a lot of fun bands. I'm buying guitars and guns, preparing for the zombie apocalypse. You've got a story about zombie apocalypses that we have to share.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So go for it.
Well, you guys that came up for the wedding met my sister, where we got married on her property.
Yeah.
She was at work the other day and helping out because she works at the awesome Bunnings, and she was helping out on the trade counter. And she said this guy came in and he was actually asking for a zombie emergency kit. And she's like, oh, that's so funny. And he's like, no, I'm serious. And he actually pulled out his phone and showed her this email. And it was like, the CDC are saying that the vaccine's causing people to turn into zombies and you need to go and ask for these emergency kits. They're not putting them on the shelves because people are just bulk buying them like toilet paper. So you have to specifically go up to the counter and ask for them. And even before he left the door, he's standing at the door and he's looking around, so just making sure there's no zombies around. He was 100% fair income, dead set serious that there's zombies out there from the vaccine.
I think that was like fucking sponsored by CG Gas or someone. Like, what? What was a zombie emergency kit? Because surely some cunt has just used this as the best PR exercise ever.
No, this is what I reckon. This is a genius marketing move from Solanum Society. That's what I reckon this is. So,
yeah, right.
we do have the zombie survival kit in here somewhere from when they were last on the show.
Oh, wait a minute. What, maybe like the Miz is there or something. I think that's where we're going.
Batista's new movie's out, so yeah, we can go and make as much of a relevant plug for that as the WWE did.
American fiance was dressed in this.
I heard otherwise.
Depends how you feel about zombie movies, because
Yeah. Oh,
I think
we could watch it. We could do a watch along.
Yeah. Zombie 1 and 2 are like two of my favorite movies of the last decade. Some people think they're horrible. I think they're amazing. So each of their own.
Oh, we'll have to do a watch along then. I think that'd be interesting.
Zombieland.
We haven't done that for a while. All right. So Lee jumped in to say a very fitting comment here. Not watching Collingwood FC, I hope. Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, we did watch Collingwood.
I did.
Horrible.
Yeah, that wasn't
He
good.
did.
Wasn't
And I
pretty.
went on the phone to my daughter, and even she's like, oh, I can hear Andrew. He's just like,
It was so frustrating to watch. But anyway, Benjamin said the bubble is a bit fickle. Yes, it is. He's also jumped to say global warming and lack of toilet paper will cause trouble. Yeah, that's already a thing.
Hands, Ben.
Yeah, for that matter, people that are bulk buying toilet paper, early bin for you lot. Again, haven't we fucking learned by now?
I still don't get why.
Yeah, just waffle stop that shit.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Haven't done that one for a while. That's a good one. Toilet paper rationing sounds great. 1 roll per person per month. Now,
Well, I don't know about that.
Someone had a good.
I know about 1 roll per month. I mean, I like Mexican food.
Yeah.
Me too. I like Mexican food too.
Yeah.
Someone said it like you can't buy toilet paper unless you've had the vaccine or something like that. That might be a good way to mitigate that kind of. Yeah, no tinfoil hat for toilet paper. And David liked your story there, so there we go. That story's hilarious. Yeah, and that was legit. When Jody told me that was like, what the fuck is going on there?
My sister just didn't, and she was giggling, just going, oh, that's fun. No, you're serious.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's like Jade was saying that a guy came in and was convinced that the 5G.
Oh god.
It's what was it? It was the water molecules turning people into lizards.
Yeah, lizards. Like the lizard people thing. We fucking went.
When they're going to take over the world.
Okay, Nikki. That's
Sorry, it's getting to me.
Actually, it's just funny. Is I actually kind of used to like. I did used to read up on this stuff because I found it interesting, and then all of a sudden it got to a point where it was just like, yeah, all of a sudden it got to a point where it was just like, too many people are taking this seriously. I'm gonna just stop doing this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do we remember before COVID there was the flat Earth movement? Do we remember the flat Earthers? That was a thing. That was
That's still a thing.
I missed them.
40 years ago, we all agreed it was fucking round. Now, anyway.
Yeah, I know.
We've got 5G and nanobots.
Fun fact for the wrestling fans out there: AJ Styles is a flat earther.
Oh, there we go.
He's from fucking Texas, isn't he? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
He's
Sorry,
he's from country Georgia.
The guys that actually flown around the fucking planet. Like, get on a boat and go look for the fucking ice wall, you fucking 2-bit fucking egg fuckers.
It's not done yet.
Look at the ice wall, take a photo and come back. I mean, fuck.
It's like the Truman Show. Eventually, you just run into the wall and you open the door.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing is, you can live stream it. Use your 5G, live stream it. Anyway, so there we go.
But again, all these things, they get legs because they make money. That's why that happens.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Sell fucking t-shirts, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
T-shirts and books and models, and as long as they're making money, they'll recruit any fucking gullible twat or delicoma they can find. So.
There we go. Oh, there we go.
I went a long time without saying his name on the show, but fuck, he's got to me now. Fuck him.
Okay. Oh, what do we got here? I don't know. So Benjamin's asking someone that had the phone jab. It's only just become available to all of us over here. So, I'm sorry, Tim can't get it yet, but the rest of us can.
Yeah, I'm still too young to get the Victorian vaccine.
Yeah, it's
even then, like federally, it's still.
There you got some solidarity there, Brendan. So from Darren.
Do one.
Yeah.
Do one, Brendan. You do all over.
I'll do more than one, don't you worry.
There's more where that came from, I'm sure. So now I know that we're about to move into the reviews, but I'm pretty sure that only Tim and I are going to be hanging around for that one. So is there anything that you guys that are about to depart would like to put into the bin before you do go? Just to get some things off your chest while you're here?
Oh, that's an impromptu bin.
Impromptu bin, nice and early for you. You had one before, the cans.
Oh, yeah. That'll do. Carlton Draft have done their, Heritage AFL Edition cans. So, like, I now have to drink beer with these shitty fucking logos on it. I don't want to deal with that. Not to mention, 2 slabs, 48 cans, only 1 Tigers can.
I was going to ask how many Richmond ones.
1.
See, I would be okay with that if they were team-specific slabs.
Yes,
exactly.
agree.
That's what I like.
Because I'd buy a Collingwood slab, no problem, and I would happily drink it.
Yeah,
Premiership slabs were great. But, drinking out of a bloody Dockers can after they just had their ass handed to them.
It's piss, so drinking piss.
Yeah. But what I find funny is it's heritage cans, but it's like you got GWS there, and it's like how much heritage.
Yeah, exactly. Good point.
But anyway, all right, cool. Well, there's a good one. Nikki, you got anything you want to put in the bin?
Look, you've already covered it, but I really feel passionately about it. All the fucking fucks. That's for you, Benjamin Payne. All the fucking fucks that hoard the toilet paper. Like, for fuck's sake. We've been through 4 fucking lockdowns, you dumb cunts. The supermarkets don't close. Essential services. There's warehouses. There's people. And the thing that really fucking pisses me off most about these fuckwits, I'm talking to you, Karen, is there are people that are elderly or can't go shopping or have limited means that when they finally do find the resource to go to the supermarket, they can't buy paper to wipe their ass with, and they actually ran out. And it pisses me off, these selfish fucks just seriously don't give a shit about anyone else. Pardon the pun. I don't know. It just fucking irritates me. But it's like, good. Go and hoard all the toilet paper and I'll stock up on the fucking non-perishable goods, you dumb cunt. So while you can't shit because you haven't got food in your fucking fat gob, I'll be eating like a queen. Well done. And I'll wipe my hand with my ass or waffle stomp. I don't care.
Wipe your hand with your ass.
Yeah, just wash your hands before you eat like a queen.
Get that nail brush.
It's not all about you. Think of the community. I actually mean it. Think of everyone else. Think of your mum and dad. Think of your kids. How would you feel if your elderly parents couldn't get toilet paper because someone like you just bought 48 fucking rolls for 7 days? Well done. Well done.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Got a few comments coming through on that one. I'll get to those in a second. But do you have anything you want to put in the bin while you're here, babe?
No. Oh, only going back to the whole tinfoil wearing, just idiots. Do your own research. Like the amount of people who, just believe something that they've read on Facebook or got a spam email or something like that. It's just like research. Don't just get all your information from one source. Just educate yourself. Yeah, just find it. Information is out there. I know I'm probably like, I've already covered this, Jody, but it's so it's soul destroying to know that there's so many idiots out there. It really is.
They watched 2 YouTube clips that said the same thing.
Oh, but I saw on Facebook this thing and then it tells me. It's just like, my fucking God. Seriously. If you saw it, research it, educate yourself before you go friggin' marching up and down with your fucking tinfoil hat on.
And
I heard it from both Pete Evans and Alex Jones.
Oh my God!
Yeah, maybe do some research on the credentials of who you're reading it from too while you're at it.
Exactly.
That might be a good way to go in that regard. I'm sure that Tim and I will have bins to put in later on. I'll get some comments in quickly before everyone buggers off and leaves us two to do it. What do we got here? So beer is the first thing that brought Australia and New Zealand together, along with toilet paper. So that's nice there from Benjamin. Michael Gower's gone, I still kick out over these people panic buying toilet paper. They'll never learn. Yeah, they probably won't at this point in time.
No, not this far down the track.
Yeah, Darren jumped in to say Cole said they sold 2 weeks of dunny paper of stock in 1 day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
Yep. And he's also gone down when we all have an equal right to vote. Yeah, let's make sure you make that count too.
And again, educate yourself, people.
Yeah. Benjamin goes, I once had to tear my socks off to wipe my ass in a fit of rage. Long story. So that's there it is.
Do tell.
I don't know what Ben's on tonight, but I think I want some.
Yes. So to follow that up, he's gone buy extra socks. Okay, well, yeah, bulk buy socks, not toilet paper. There's a new rule for everyone. And
next Tuesday.
Yeah. And News has gone, new drinking game. Every time Nikki swears, take a shot.
You will be on the floor in 10 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
Boom.
Nikki's picking up Dennis's mantle for us. So there we go.
It used to be whenever Dennis flicked his hair.
There you go.
Ironically, I actually do that as well. So
I know. We're onto a winner here. All right, but I think that's it for now. I think we're onto the reviews. So a big thank you to Brendan, Nikki, and Jody for jumping in and joining us. A bit of fun tonight. We'll get onto these actual reviews and bore everyone to sleep for a little bit, and then we'll sign off for a night. But yeah, no, thank you to you three for jumping in and having some fun with us tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed that one as well. So
bye all.
You're welcome, Michael.
Sorry about the profanity. I've had a few drinks. Bye, kids.
All righty. So then there were two. So apologies to all out there. It is just now down to the two of us with Brendan, Nikki and Jody departing. Tim and myself are still here. We got another comment here. I hope the toilet paper hoarders are bulk buying contraception so they cannot procreate. Well, that should probably be a 2-for-1 offer, I would imagine, just to make life nice and simple for the rest of us. But anyway, let's get into some fun stuff. If you're good to go, Tim, there with some reviews.
Yeah, good to go.
All right, cool. So first cab off the rank with this sort of stuff is going to be Silver Lake by Holopainen. So that is the actual title of the group and also the title of the album. For those wanting to check it out, there is a link in the description, but I'm also going to put one into the comments now. So here we go. Check this out. So that is going through to everything that's on Facebook and YouTube. You can check out that link now. That is Silver Lake. The song I put in there is Storm. So if you look for Silver Lake by Isa Holopainen and the song is Storm, that is one of the new ones off this album let's talk about. So without any further ado, here's our review of Silver Lake by Isa Holopainen. 9 tracks for 37 minutes. The debut solo album from the amorphous guitarist, released May 2021 via Nuclear Blast. Mixed and produced by Nino Loren at Sonic Pump. Mastered by Svante Forsbeck. 2 singles have so far been released in Storm and Ray of Light. This is a collaborative album that features vocals from Jonas Rensk of Catatonia, Tommy Houston of Amorphous, Bjorn Speed Strid of Soilwork, and many, many more on top of that. So here we go. What'd you make of it, Tim?
First of all, like as with a lot of these European metal albums, I think it sounds great. Mm-hmm. Recording's pretty spectacular.
Yeah,
and there's a very there's a nice depth to it as well. Onto the music though. At first I kind of got very much like an Opeth vibe from the first couple of tracks.
Yep.
That kind of softer Opeth vibe. But as we sort of delve into it, I think Opeth's a fair comparison because there is a wide scape here because each song was sort of written for each different vocalist.
Yeah.
And as a result, I kind of feel like, as a listener, there's going to be some tracks that you love about this and some tracks that you hate because of that. Because there's such a wide variety of vocalists on here, there's a wide variety of songs. Yeah. And unless you've got a stunningly open mind, I think there's going to be something. You're just going to gravitate towards some tracks more than others.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the 3 tracks in the middle, Ray of Light, Alku Sointu, however they pronounce that, and In Her Solitude, like you couldn't have 3 more different tracks in a row.
Yeah.
From there. It's an interesting listen though. It's well worth it to checking it out if you're into that kind of Blackwater Park Opeth kind of style. If you're into that kind of thing, then it's worth checking out. But at the same time, I can also see a lot of people listening to this and just thinking it's a bit of a wank.
Okay.
Which, to be honest with you, is not an unfair criticism either.
Yep.
So I'll give it a 7 out of 10, and In Her Solitude is my highlight.
Okay, cool. Well, what you were saying about the mix is fucking bang on. I think this sounds fantastic. I love the sparkle and the depth in the tones on this. I liked how you got a lot of balance between things like the synth, how it was used along with the guitar on this one, and all that sort of gave a platform for the different vocalists to launch from. And the vocals for mine, I get what you're saying, but for me, I found it to be, while it was a diverse listen, I thought it was really cohesive. I thought they did a really good job in that regard, and the lyrics worked together as well, which is pretty cool. Sorry?
No, it's fair.
Cool. I thought there was some really nice lead work on this as well. I thought there was also a nice touch having Jonas Rensk from Catatonia performing, because you got an instrumental to open it, but then he performs on the second track, which is your first vocal track, but also he performs on the last track as well, which is a nice way to sort of close the circle, which makes that opening instrumental sort of like a good midway oasis if you repeat spin this thing. So I thought it was nice and nicely bookended. I think everything was really well done on this one. I thought the performances were good across the board on this. I don't know who did the instruments apart from Issa himself, but I thought the whole thing was really well done. There was nice flow, nice drama to the listen. You got a bit of everything on this one, though. You got the pop-based hooks and radio-geared tracks like Radio of Light, but the middle track on this, which translates into alliteration, is literally just this dark, brooding song with a spoken vocal that is not in English, so I don't understand it, but you get this haunting effect out of it. That has a saxophone solo in there as well. So there's a whole lot going on in this. In Her Solitude was a real grinder of a track, probably the heaviest, definitely vocally on this one as well, but it's offset because it's got like this little string section in there as well. I don't know, there's a whole lot in this, not only in this from song to song, but also within the song's composition-wise. It was really interesting listening to me. And For me, it was a bit of a pleasant surprise. I didn't expect a hell of a lot out of this, and for me, it was okay. It was a short little listen, but I hope they do more, or he does more in this regard, because it was a lot of fun for me. I actually sat back and really enjoyed this one. He made a point of saying that when he was, talking about doing this one, because it was a definite COVID project kind of a thing, he wasn't sure if there would be any vocals or not on this one. The only thing he knew for sure is he didn't want to have it to be like where most, guitarists do the whole, I'll play, you want to focus on being complete songs written well. And I think that's been borne out really nicely on this one too. So, I think that the vocals are a good thing, but it would have been an interesting instrumental album as well. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. In Her Solitude, Promising Sun, and Fading Moon on my standouts on that. And if you've got any thoughts on it, make sure you give us your thoughts on that too. Benjamin from YouTube, he's still here as well. So he's gone, if you guys have anything from New Zealand music scene, feel free to contact me, guys. I'm on Facebook. So, okay, cool. We'll make sure we look you up for that one. But he's also said, listening, much appreciated, hanging out. Cool. He did give us the story though on the sock. So here we go. I was in a stolen car in the rain. It was raining. I had to stop for a while. I fell down a bit of a cliff, and when I got back to my car, my TP was wet, and I had my socks for an option. Well, that kind of sucks. I don't blame you for that then. Long story short, I drove a long way with no pants and socks. So that's it. That's cool. Like, I like how we get some random stories coming through here and there. That was very cool. Thank you for sharing that one with us. We got there with that one. We got a few more reviews to get through though, so I'm going to push on a little bit now. We don't want to be here for too long tonight with everyone. It's going to be a work day tomorrow for a lot of people. If not, enjoy your sleeping on lockdown. Next up in the comments and also in the description is a track from Bloodbound called Creatures of the Dark Realm. So that's what you're looking for in the description and in the comments. But if you can't find them, just look for Bloodbound. The song is Creatures of the Dark Realm. That's what we are putting in because that's what we're about to talk about now. So our next review is Bloodbound. The album is Creatures of the Dark Realm. 12 tracks, 45 minutes. The 9th studio album from the Swedish band, released May 2021 by AFM Records, produced by the band at a few different studios, mixed and mastered by Jonas Kjellgren at Black Lounge Studios in Sweden. At least 3 singles have so far been released, including the title track and When Fate is Calling. This isn't a band we've spent a whole lot of time on over the years, so I figured why not give this one a go now. How'd you go with it, Tim?
I actually thought it was good. It was good. Very much in that sort of modern power metal kind of style. I thought there was a first note. The guitar solos on here are fucking stunning.
Yeah, the lead
the
is
guitar player. Guitar players will cream over this one.
Yep.
As usual with these kind of, again, like I said, a lot of these European albums, they sound fucking fantastic. Yeah. I did like how I did like again like a lot of these power metal bands, the reuse of the synth displayed underneath. Just really added a nice little atmosphere to everything. I thought there was just the right amount of cheese.
No, I agree with that. You get cheese in this style of music, but I thought they did it right. They did it right.
They definitely pushed the cheese boundary, but it was for me just enough to be fun, but without being too cheesy.
Yep.
My only real criticism of this though is when this thing started. Excuse me. This thing started really strong, but after the first few tracks, things started to get a little bit repetitive in the sense that they did start to rely on the chanty chorus.
Yeah, it was meant for that.
And for me, especially listening to it a couple of times over and over, those the second half of that album did start to blend together because of that.
I found it didn't hold up well on repeat listens because of that one. Yeah,
and I mean, they just needed something else in there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I understand the chanty chorus, especially for this kind of a band. It's going to work well with, the European festival scene, and that kind of a chorus is always going to work great. But listening to it on an album, they just needed something else in there for a couple of different tracks. I totally get it for a few tracks, but for me, the back end of this half just kind of killed it for that. So yeah. I'd give it a 7.5. Death Will Lead the Way was my highlight, which is, again, ironically, a chanty chorus song, but I thought it was a good one.
Yep.
But yeah, look, honestly, like if you like the power metal stuff, you'll probably really like this.
Yep. When we did the Halloween special, you listened to a few albums, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because I got a bit of a Halloween vibe from this one. And
yeah, that's fair.
I thought they did it pretty well too, because it sort of crosses over a bit with what Halloween are doing now with the lineup, reuniting and all that sort of stuff, and you're getting this big hype about that album coming out. This will ride the coattails of that pretty nicely, I think. It's a good standalone album on its own right. I just think there's a certain thing about it, a flavour to it. I think Dave would really enjoy this one, but I think that if you're a Halloween fan, this will be one for you to check out, because this feels a bit similar to what we're getting out of the band at the moment. So that is cool. I thought that it really, really well. It's that big, the hooks and the vocals with this. You got that sort of almost battle beast kind of moments here and there with the big chanty choruses that you were talking about. The lead work is fantastic, just like you were saying. I liked that mix of cheese that it's not overdone. It's just enough. It makes it fun, not tacky, which is cool. And I liked how infectious it is overall. It does get a bit tired in the back third of it, non-repeat listens, but for the listen you put on every couple of days kind of thing, that fun factor is there, and it's really infectious for that. I thought that the way that the vocals, the synth, and the guitar all played around in the same sort of space and shot off here and there, but that was done really, really well. So the composition on that side of things was really cool. And also for a big soundwall kind of an album, they did a pretty good job of not making it too heavy. They gave it enough depth and space. The pounding rhythm section came through nicely, and it showed all the performances really evenly too, which is cool. I thought there was a nice touch of darkness on this one. You've got some minor note shifts on tracks like Eyes Come Alive, which keep the listen fresh for the most part, not overtaxing. It's not a taxing listen. It does get a bit stale, but it's not taxing. For how fast-paced this is overall, you don't get fatigued listening to it, if that makes sense. You might feel like running off to do something else while it's on in the background, but you don't get fatigued listening to it. That track also, Eyes Come Alive, was a bit of a cross between bands like on the local scene here, Divine Ascension and Volvagun. So if you like those two bands, this might be a thing for you to check out as well. I thought that they did some nice push and pull on this, big and punchy sound overall. I think, the galloping pace, especially in the back third of the album, is a bit sort of samey, and it just goes, galloping pace, big, bouncy chorus, that kind of stuff. It's exactly what you want from an album like this. If you're a fan of the genre, this is going to please or get everything you want out of it. If you're not a fan, it's not going to do anything to change your mind. But it's a very well-executed, solid album from top to bottom, and very cool. I wouldn't mind checking out some more of their stuff on the back of this, because I'm not overly familiar with the band, and this is their 9th album, so it's pretty cool stuff. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Eyes Come Alive, Creatures of the Dark Realm, and The Gargoyle's Gate. I probably chose some of the more different ones on this one, because there were some nice groove changes as opposed to tempo changes overall, but that did make it at least a little bit interesting for me there too. What do we got here? So, okay, Benjamin's jumped in again to say Tracy Gunn's just released a new Michael Sweet called Sunbomb. Been listening to that recently. We reviewed that one a little while ago, so that was very, very cool. And for Benjamin, it is Halloween, the band Halloween, not Halloween, the band Halloween that have got the new album coming out, I think, next month. Here's a question without notice. Ben has jumped in to say, Tim, when and where did you meet Andrew? This will be a little bit of a backstory.
The first time I met you in person was when Arcane Saints released Black Limousine and you interviewed us. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That was how many years ago now?
2016.
Yeah, I was thinking 16. Yeah,
2016, and at the studio in Cranbrook.
Yep.
And then there's probably about a month later, Dave was starting up the radio show. Yep. And asked me to do a show for that, so I did that for a little while.
Yep.
And then after that, when we started doing the shows at Whole Lot of Love, the whole. That's when, sort of Dennis and Jimmy were starting to slow down a little bit. And so we started, merged everyone together, and it took off from there.
Yep. And that's where we are now. So there's a little bit of a history. So we've known each other for getting close to 6 years now.
So Time flies, man.
It does fly when you're having fun, but it's cool. Benjamin's jumped in to say Guns and Moses. Okay, we get some random comments here and there. All right, cool. So hopefully that answered your question there, Ben. Going into the comments now and in the description if you want to find it, putting in a link for a GWAR track, or GWAR, however you want to pronounce it. This is an acoustic song called I'll Be Your Monster. So it's the acoustic rendition of a song they've already done before. This is GWAR, I'll Be Your Monster. Go and check that out because that is what you're going to be getting a taste of with what we're talking about next, which is GWAR, the disc with no name. It's 4 tracks for 14 minutes. This is the band's first ever acoustic release and features reimagined songs from previous releases. This was dropped to us all in May 2021 via Pit Records. 1 single has so far been released in Fuck This Place. Not a lot of other info around about this one except to say that this is another COVID-inspired project. So how did you go with this one?
I love this so much. Like, look, I like the band. I've liked the band for a while.
Yeah, they're fun. Yep.
And you know, they've got the new singer who, you know, a lot of people, you know, when they first did the changeover, didn't really like him.
Yeah.
For me, he's grown into the role quite well. You know, he's a believable parody monster, which is, you know, kind of what you want. And what I got when I was listening to this, it was like somebody made it. This is where I'm going. Okay, it sounds weird, but somebody once made a comment about Jim Carrey's stand-up, and it was he's not doing stand-up, he's doing a parody of a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, okay, yep.
And that was the vibe I got with this. Is that this band is they're not doing acoustic songs, they're doing parodies of acoustic songs.
Cool.
And like it's the little like, you know, forced country accent.
Yeah, there was
that just made me laugh so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's leaning into the tropes of acoustic songs.
Yeah, and
just taking the piss out of it, and I thought it was beautiful. It was
well done.
It was satire done fantastically well. I mean, this is a band that, you know, not all they're a bit hit and miss, to be perfectly honest. But when they do hit, they nail the how do you put it? Obscenity as satire. It's fantastic. Yeah. I'll Be Your Monster was my highlight. Actually, I thought it was a great track. Yeah, 8 out of 10. For for a 4-track EP, I don't think you're going to get much better than this.
No, it is a very well done little EP. This one. It's quirky to hear these guys doing acoustic, which I think is what makes it more fun because you don't get this very often, especially not from a band like this. Something that's so heavily reliant on the stage show and all the bells and whistles that go into it. They've just stripped it. Shows you really at their core these songs are pretty bloody good, and the instrumentation and the rearranging of them was all really well done too. So it shows their chops in a different way, which I think is pretty cool about this sort of stuff. I like the production. I thought it was really rich and warm. The mix on the acoustic guitar was stunning. I liked how there was some pretty cool panning on this one as well. Nothing too serious in the trick work. Just it was well, produced tones with a bit of hard panning left and right to open up the space a bit more. The vocals came through nice in the middle, and around that, the gravel in the vocal actually worked pretty well in this setting. I thought it was really well done, and the whole thing for me was the contrast between the lyrical subject matter, which you're going to get some interesting stuff from the band, in this acoustic setting. How you were talking about they had the forced, country thing, and I also mentioned the blues track. What I'll Be Your Monster, is that the one? That's the really bluesy one.
Yeah.
And the way they did that was really clever and made this an interesting little. Like it's only 14 minutes, so if you're bored, you can kill this one really quickly. Just go and give it a spin. But it's one of those ones where every track is different to another one, and they've done a really good job in making this an entertaining little quick listen. I thought the performances were solid. The country take on Gonna Kill You with that little electric touch at the very end of the song was pretty well done. And, the band is always entertaining. This is no exception to that. There might be some things that hit and miss, but they always aim to make it fun, and I think they do a pretty good job of that much at least. Nothing about this is groundbreaking per se, but it's very well done, and it's a good little COVID project that's well executed and makes sure that this band will stay, relevant during the times they have to go through until they can get out and play the road again. So I thought the little spoken moment, the road behind, was a nice final little touch there. Little spoken moment just at the very end. It was very, very cool. Hard to give these little EPs a really super high score, but as far as EPs go, this is pretty good. So check it out. 7.5 out of 10 from me. I'll Be Your Monster and Fuck This Place are my two main standouts on this one.
And also,
yep.
If by any chance in the future GWAR tour Australia,
yeah,
please go.
Go and see them. They're fun live.
They played Soundwave a few years ago, and it was spectacular.
Mm-hmm. I want to know what they could do with because what they cut off, was it Tony Abbott's head last time?
Yeah, they decapitated Tony Abbott the last time they were here.
Yeah. That'd be cool. So things like that, they're not afraid to sort of go a bit over the edge too. Like the politicians didn't like that, but all of us fucking loved it. So well done. I want to go and see them live when they come out here again too. That was a lot of fun last time around. Some comments coming through. David Fowler jumped in. The new D. Snyder song is killer. His new album, Leader Star, comes out at the end of July. I can safely say that we're all very...
I was just talking to someone, actually, about when we're getting a new D. Snyder album, because his last one was pretty good.
Yep.
And here we go.
Yep.
And the new song is great, too.
Very excited. Very, very excited about that one. I think we fucking all just loved his last album, and a few people went to go and see him live, which I didn't get to do last time around. So hopefully we can get through this one and he gets to come out here again, because I will make sure I definitely get front and center for that one. Benjamin Payne jumped in. GWAR, Toilet Metal. Yeah, that's about it. Ben Jar said, awesome, love the behind-the-scenes story. So, yeah, if you got questions about us and how we do things, by all means, ask away. We're happy to talk, just having some fun here. Benjamin Payne jumped in. Would you believe that I once went live in the Guitar Whores Facebook group directly from my toilet with a Ripper version of Eruption? Judging by the conversation tonight, yes, I would believe that. To which he's followed it up with, rest in peace, Dave Brocky. Yes, completely agree. Yep. He will always... There are a lot of fans of GWAR here too. News agreed. Awesome live. Yes, we do want to see all that happening again. And Odorous Rungus' giant penis gets a mention there as well. So we're having some fun. The GMR, a comment from the GMR on YouTube. Hi, saying hi to us. So thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. Hopefully you're enjoying the show so far. If you missed anything, go and check it out I guess you can go back to the start whenever you want to. And Nerds also jumped in to say the new Fuzzy Tune Sane is good as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that one yet either, so that'll be pretty cool to go and check out. Speaking of new tunes, in the comments and in the description, I'm putting the latest from Of Mice and Men, which is a song called Bloom, which funnily enough is also the name of this little mini EP we're going to do next. So if you're looking for it, in the comments or in the description, look for the link for Of Mice and Men Bloom. If you can't find the link, just search for that song and you'll get a taste of what we're talking about next. So our final review for tonight is Of Mice and Men with Bloom. 3 tracks for 12 minutes. This is the second EP in a series that will make up the band's next album. Released May 2021 via Sharp Tone Records, produced by the band themselves. The title track has been released as a single and is a song about grieving the death of a family member. This EP follows an EP called Timeless, which was released in February this year. And that followed the same form. It was 3 songs in that one. There's 3 songs in this one. So I imagine we're probably going to get 2 more EPs of the same sort of length before the album drops later this year is what I'm assuming is going to happen. How'd you go with this one, Tim?
Oh, this is great. This is right in my wheelhouse. Very much in the modern. It's in that wonderful little space in between metalcore and deathcore.
Yeah.
That Vice and Merc really sit in between in that kind of Black Dahlia murder kind of space.
Yep.
I remember seeing these guys at the Soundwave a few years ago, and just walking past, and they were playing one of the tents, and that was so good, really tight, great tones for this type of band as well, and this EP is no exception. I think one of my criticism with this kind of style is sometimes guitars sound a little bit too digitized.
Yeah.
Which I understand, when you're tuning quite low. he's sometimes using, traditional amplifiers. They just sort of fart out on the lower end. So you got to get it right. But with these guys, they got it right. And my only sort of criticism,
the organicness of the drums complemented that as well.
Oh yeah, like again, they sounded like drums, which is again sometimes for this kind of style. Again, because they're playing so fast, they tend to focus so much on the attack that they don't really sound like drums. But with this one, that everything sounds nice and rich and full. And my only really sort of criticism is that I was listening to this going, oh fuck, it's only 3 tracks.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this album now, which is on the plus side. But for an EP, this was like pretty damn good. The songs are fantastic. I thought once they switched into the clean vocals on Pulling Teeth as well, they weren't too boy bandish either.
I thought they did a good job with that. There's still some nice,
They still had some grit there. They still had some, but at the same time, when things did get heavy, they sounded like a heavy band should sound in 2021. It wasn't too dirty, but at the same time, it wasn't too clean either.
They didn't go full monster either.
Yeah. Great grooves, great breakdowns, spaced out nicely as well. So if you're into this kind of stuff, I mean, like Of Mice and Men really, really should be probably, if this album follows like this, it'll put them in the same category as bands like, Black Dahlia Murder and Job for a Cowboy as one of the better bands of the genre.
Cool.
Yeah. This is really good 3 tracks.
Yeah.
Bloom, by the way, is my highlight. Yeah, I'll give it an 8 again because, it's only 3 tracks, but we'll wait and see when this album comes out.
Yeah, no, and on the back of that, I'm actually curious about the album now. This isn't a band that I've spent a whole lot of time on personally. It's not quite in my wheelhouse as much as it is for you, Tim. I think that's pretty well established by those that know us. But at the same time, I liked how this had a bit of a touch of soundscape element in the production. There was this rain touch going all through the songs. When the songs were building or dropping in the background, there was this noise of like rain coming through. So they did this nice little soundscape touch, which made it all flow and tie together really nicely. You've described what the music is pretty well. It's just heavy, but nice use of melody on this one too. It's aggressive. It's the modern metal. If you like that thing, you're going to enjoy it. If you don't like that, this is not going to change your mind. But it's very tight, very punchy. But I liked, like I was saying before, the organicness of the tone. So the guitar, the drums, the vocals, there was nothing too heavily produced. It was still felt and sounded like a band playing in the studio to get these songs down and didn't go too hard at the attack. They allowed things to ring out, which is nice. I think that they use groove really nicely, especially in the choruses in this one too, which, again, with the grittier vocal, they didn't also lean too much into the typical snare hits and all sorts of stuff. That the drums still played with the sway and the groove. It didn't come off like a boppy kind of thing. They still kept the aggression in the choruses too, musically, which helped that to keep the intensity, but give you a softer touch and made it interesting to listen to, which is really cool. I think the production is what you want from this style of music. The lyrics are as well. I think the synth was used on this one pretty nicely. A subtle little thing there, but it was a nice touch on it. And it's funny in that if you listen to these 3 songs, it doesn't feel like the most diverse listen of all time. But at the same time, when you listen to them on repeat, each of the 3 songs is pretty different to each other, but they all really click, which I found to be a really neat trick on this one too. And every time I listened to it, the one that got my attention the most changed for different reasons on different songs. The way they were composed, perform, all those things, everything had this one a bit of a point of difference about it too. So they did a really good job of this. It's a very well done little 3-track EP or glorified single, whatever you want to call it. But this has done enough for me to be very, very curious what happens next with this. I will go and check out probably the Timeless EP if I get around to it, but also I'm much more curious and more aware now of what the album is going to do. And I'd like to hear how, because I was talking about the soundscape moments and that, I would like to hear how that flows in the context of the album.
Yeah, agreed.
Nicely, but the way that would all flow in the album, I'm really curious about if these will be a block of 3 tracks on the album or if they're going to sort of split them out and they'll be in different locations on the album. I'm really curious about that because I thought they flowed really nicely here. But I want to hear how they mix with the other stuff they've got going on. So it'd be pretty cool. They did a very, very good job with this. So yeah, if you like this stuff, if you're a fan of things like this, like Tim is, then yeah, you're going to definitely love it. If you like me, it's a little bit more sort of, I'm not so sure. It's well worth a listen, I think, because it might get your attention a lot more than you might, expect if you're not a fan of the genre. 7.5 out of 10. I also picked Bloom. I think that is the overall standout track on this. But like I said, the other two tracks, Levy and Pulling Teeth, were both good in their own way for very just the way they were interesting. They were really, really cool. So there's that. And that's our final review. Got some comments from Benjamin again here. He's gone, I find it hard to take a dorky wrestler seriously as a musician, but I like GWAR, go figure. That's fair enough. Although I will say Jericho is actually a pretty bloody good vocalist, so you got to give credit where it's due for what he's done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That last Fozzy album was pretty good too.
It is. Yeah, I don't mind fuzzy stuff. Serious question. Do either of you still listen to Metallica, and what is your opinion on Dave Mustaine firing Dave Ellison for squeezing the lizard? All right. Do you want to take this one first, Tim?
Yeah, all right. Do I still listen to Metallica? Yes, I do. Regardless of what anyone says, those first 4 Metallica albums are the best albums ever written.
Yep.
And look, whenever Metallica play Australia, I'm going to be there front and center.
Yep.
Regardless of what anyone says, they hold a special place in a lot of our hearts. Dave Ellison. Look, from what originally when the story came out, it was deny, and then Megadeth put out a statement saying, yeah, we'll wait and see. And then Dave put out a statement saying, it's been changed, I've been hacked. And then it went to, yeah, it happened, but... And then once that happened, Dave said, all right, see you later. So, look, unfortunately, with the sort of way the coverage works and the way the media cycles works, the last part of when Dave came out and said, okay, yeah, but it happened, but kind of thing, then that really didn't get as much coverage as his denials. But the fact is, I think at the end of the day, Mustaine's, look, it's his band, and he's going to cover his ass. So at the end of the day, when you're working for him, and there's plenty of bass players out there that are going to want that Megadeth job, so it's just easier for him not to deal with it.
Yep. First things first, Metallica, yes, definitely listen to them on regular rotation, that band for me. I like just about all their work. I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan of Sananga. That's Dave's wheelhouse more than mine. But I do listen to the albums like Load and Reload as well. I like pretty much all their stuff. So I'm a big fan of Metallica. Seen them in Europe, seen them in Australia. I will happily go and see them again, and I will happily listen to their albums whenever I get around to it. Regarding the mess that has been left by Dave Ellison in more ways than one, I put this down to, like Benjamin saying here, he should have known better. Do you think he should have known better? Well, I think, yes, he absolutely should have known better. There's no way that a 50-something-year-old guy starts talking to a 17-year-old girl, waits until she's 19 to have a wank fest on camera, and then what do you think for the fucking happened here? Genuinely, seriously. I put this topic. I have empathy to a degree, but I don't really have any sympathy for him. And it's like, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Being a 50-something-year-old guy chatting to a teenager is not going to end well no matter who you are. And for me, the creep factor sort of kicks in a lot when you think about him being a church minister as well. And if you take out the fact that he was a member of Megadeth and all those things, we got a lot of discussions these days about the gender imbalance in society and power structures and all that sort of stuff. And I just don't think it's appropriate for a guy in his position to I don't think it's appropriate for a guy in his position to be doing what he was doing. And Benjamin just said, yeah, he was married as well. So I feel sorry for his family. They have my sympathy, the way this is played out.
Yeah, agreed.
But as for Dave, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for him. I know that might not be a popular take, but like I said, he's been around the block long enough to know better. I don't know how you think that's going to end well. What's he going to do? Leave his wife and kids for this girl eventually down the line? There's no end game here that goes well. and that's a bit of an interesting one. David's jumped in to say Ellison's now going to sue the person who spread the vid and inferred he was grooming underage girl. I think he's going to go from under revenge porn laws. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, look, and there is something to that.
There is.
There is something to that, but at the same time, I felt like when you're a well-known person, hide your face.
It's not that hard.
Because, look, for better, unfortunately, it sounds bad saying this, but I mean, unfortunately, if you're a well-known person, you are going to be subject to some level of blackmail.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know. Which sounds like victim blaming, but at the same time, he was also doing the wrong thing to begin with.
There's no winners in this, ultimately.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone actually wins. I think you could say there's victims on both sides of this whole equation. In either way, this is played out because it wasn't the girl that released it was a friend of hers, according to the stories, I believe. And he, did things with a certain amount of trust in mind and all that sort of stuff. But however, that's not how the real world works. And honestly, for someone who's been around the block as many times as he has, he should have known better. I think that the argument about the grooming stuff is an interesting one. I would like to have that actually played out in a court of law, because if he started talking to her when she was 17, now don't forget, in some states in America, she still can't even drink legally. So you got that whole difference in society levels there. But be that as it may, she's 19 now. But if he was, as a hypothetical, purely hypothetical, if he was grooming her since she was 17, of course, she'll come out and say she wasn't groomed, because that's what grooming kind of ends up doing to people. They turn into defending the people that – I'm not saying any of those things happen, but, those are facets that need to be borne out. I would like to see this whole thing. Like, if he does charge or go for suit for revenge porn and stuff, I say do it, because then if it makes it the whole chat history and that comes out,
well,
the only way
that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if this goes to court, we'll find out everything that happened.
Yeah. And I think
at the moment, while we don't know everything that happened, I will say, while it would suck to have your nude photos released by somebody else, Dave looks like he's in the wrong for the most part.
Yeah, it's hard to really defend him too strongly in this one. Like Tommy Rocco jumped in on YouTube here to say, not wrong about Ellison, but he shouldn't have been fired. A shit thing to do, but yeah. Now, I understand the argument there, but at the same time, in this day and age, when it comes to things like brand awareness and the music industry is not as easy to make a living from anymore, it's, like you said, it's a lot easier to find a replacement than it is to keep fighting the fight for him.
Plus, Megadeth right now is Dave Mustaine's band. As a business, 100% his.
Yep.
And it's been when was the last Megadeth album? 2018 or something like that?
I think so, yeah, 18 or 17.
Yeah, so we're due for another one.
Yep. Well, they were in the studio. News has jumped in with a comment saying, do you think Ellison's part of the new album will be replaced? He said in an interview he was singing a song on it. I wouldn't be surprised if that song is cut or replaced entirely. I think every note he played and every bit he sung will be erased.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise that'll end up in court too.
Here we go. This is a common comparison as well. Benjamin brought up, it's happened to Tommy Lee and his career continues. Maybe we expect that sort of thing from a band like Motley Crue. I don't think it's...
but that's the thing. It happened to Tommy Lee, but Tommy Lee was in a relationship with a girl he was married to, with 2 adults.
And that was the person that the video came out about as well.
Yeah.
So that's where that is a bit different. That was stolen from his safe or something like that. It was with the woman he was married to at the time, and no one was underage. So it was like, not that this girl was strictly underage currently, but the history is very different.
It's not underage currently, but it's kind of like the Elvis situation where it's like,
it's not ideal.
You move in when she's 14, and if she turns 16, you get married.
Yeah, it's not the first one to do it. Won't be the last one, but I think times have changed. And 2016 is apparently the last time.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Here we go. This is going to be continuing. Tommy Rock has jumped in. What about the people that are boycotting Knotfest because Ellison isn't going to be playing? Who do you think will jump on base? I think Yeah.
I would say that those people boycotting because he's not playing would be minuscule. If you remember, well, there was Soundwave a few years ago where they booked Megadeth and Newstead.
Yeah.
And Dave and Jason got into it beforehand, and both bands cancelled beforehand, and nobody didn't fucking boycott. And if so long as Megadeth are playing and Dave Mustaine shows up, then people are going to show up. If people do boycott, I'd suggest they'd be in the tens.
Yeah.
Who do you think would jump on bass? Fucking millions of people would want to. I'll do it if they ask me.
There was, I forget the name, there was someone I think he's worked with before that is currently available, so I think that's most likely to be the outcome. In situations like this, they tend to go back to what they know most of the time. So someone that's been with the band before will be the one that gets the nod, I think, on short notice because they'll know how it works and they won't rock the boat too hard because it'll be a good gig to get into. And as for people that are boycotting it, that's just the consumer marketing do what it does. You get people boycotting it if you kept Ellefson on the thing. So either way, you get
exactly
happy. Dave Fowler's jumped in to say Sipping James Lomenzo will be back. That's the name I heard kicking around too. So that's what I think is the most likely outcome. People are saying, or I think this is wishful thinking. People are saying Newstead may replace Ellefson. Newstead is on the record himself recently saying he could not physically play the Metallica stuff anymore. I don't think he's going to jump in to play Megadeth stuff now.
Yeah. One of the things with Newstead is that you remember the reason why he left Metallica was the dude had a lot of back and neck problems just from touring constantly. And, unfortunately, there's a lot of old musicians with back problems. And, it's a hard life.
Yep.
You want to live into your 70s, especially with Jason Newstead does not need to work a day in his life, and neither with his grandkids, great grandkids.
Yep.
So, not worth the trouble for him.
Yeah. Nudes has jumped in to say a dude from White Line filled in for Ellefson for a few years. Yeah, there won't be a shortage of people that can jump in and do this one. Yeah, more people are saying that James Lomenzo as well. It seems to be the most common consensus here. But
there's like when Dave Lombardo left Slayer, they went straight back. That's how these things work.
A lot of these ones, at the end of the day, we forget from the outside looking in as fans that a lot of them are pretty much professionals. They have contracts all written up. They know what they're doing. And if you get to jump back in, you'll treat it like a job versus something you're passionate about. Especially at this age, in this point in their careers, it's much more about being a professional making some money than it is about doing it because you love it so damn much. And don't get me wrong, the love plays a part of it. That's not like it's a completely passionless thing, but the smart decisions usually rule.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a business thing these days.
Yeah, but the business mindset will come first and foremost for anything that goes on next from this one. So that's where I think that all sort of winds up at the end of the day. I think a bit silly all around, but it is what it is now. And I actually don't hate Mustaine for firing him. I think it's just brand protection, and I don't think anyone's going to begrudge him that long term either. That wouldn't be the first time Ellefson hasn't been in the band. So there you go. And if Ellefson can and wants to, he can go off and do some solo work, or whatever. Well, he probably is already, but there we go. But in musical terms, I mean there. So I think we'll wrap that up there. We're getting into a bit of a longer territory, but it's cool. I like having this. It's good to get the interaction. So thank you for everyone for jumping in and being a part of the conversation. Is very, very cool. Benjamin's jumped in saying, you got to be fit to perform well. Look at Mick Jagger. Well, that's all very true. If you're not able to physically do it, you're not going to go well. And the fans are too pretty quickly now these days, so we're all pretty smart on this sort of stuff.
But you got to remember as well with Mick Jagger, I mean, like, the Rolling Stones tour once every 10 years.
Yeah.
Whereas Megadeth, if it weren't for COVID, they'd be touring nonstop.
Hmm.
Which is the Megadeth gigs are much harder gig than. Yeah.
Now we're getting some dissension within the ranks. Nikki's gone. He shouldn't have been fired. Nikki's been banging on about this behind the scenes with us here for a while. She's firmly in the camp of he shouldn't have been fired. I disagree with you, Nikki, but hey, it is what it is. It happened. Not much any of us can do about it, so it's just what it is. Not our call to make. And Tommy jumped in to say, thanks, guys. Love it. You're more than welcome. Love having the conversations that we have here with the audience on the show. It's part of, or a big part of what makes this so much fun in this platform, the way we do things. So thank you, everyone, for jumping in, joining us for another episode. Again, our details are in the description of this, so please like, follow, subscribe, all the usual things everyone gets you to do. Share this stuff around. Try and help us build the audience for these live streams. We like having people get involved in these conversations like we do. We do them on Sundays and Thursdays with us on the show, and then Tuesday nights, Nikki and I sit there and do the interviews with bands and record labels and managers and all sorts of stuff there. So that's our Tuesday night sessions as interviews. Going back into it, Benjamin Payne, he only had one wank. Wouldn't be as convinced about that, but anyway. What else we got here? So yeah, our details in the description, same as our sponsors. So please check out our sponsors. A big thank you to Squidding, Screen Printing, Alt, Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Thank you so much for your support. Like I said, find them, give them a follow. Their details are easy to find in there too. And if you want to help us directly yourself, check out our Patreon page or check out our PayPal link, all that sort of stuff. It's all there. Any help you can give us is greatly, greatly appreciated. I did run through things before. So on Saturday nights, check us out on Channel 31 in Melbourne for now, because there's a lot going on with the government at the moment, it seems. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
That's getting a bit nasty, but we'll have more to say on that in the coming weeks. But yeah, check us out for now. Channel 31, 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights, and then Channel 44 in Adelaide, 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights is our time slots for those two networks. And hopefully we can keep Community TV on the air beyond June this year. If you would like to keep Community TV on the air, there is a petition going around. Like I said, we'll be having more to do on this later on, but you can follow our socials and you see that petition there. And also write to your local federal representative as well to put some heat on them too, saying we need to keep Community TV on the airs. And Benjamin, thank you for liking and sharing. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, Tuesday night, Nikki and I will be chatting to Tom from Metal United and Under. And then on Thursday coming up, we'll be reviewing the latest on Boneyard, Burning Witches, and Tigers of Pantang is the little playlist I've got going there for that one. Check us out on Spotify. Follow a playlist there because that'll be where you keep up to date with what we're listening to at the moment as well. But that's all the usual nonsense out of the way. Let's get to the fun part of the week before we do wrap up and get out of here and go home. We are home, but go to bed or whatever for the night. And that is go to the bin. So what have you got for the bin, Tim?
I've been this before, but we're back in lockdown, so I have to bin it again, and that is hand sanitizer that smells like shit. Like, far out. Like I it goes the same with soap. You know it's crap when it smells like air freshener.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like oh well, you want that hand sanitizer when you press it and all the cuts in your hand start to burn.
Yeah, that's how you know it's working.
And it smells like if you lick your hand, you'd fall over drunk. Like that's the hand sanitizer I want. I don't want that hand sanitizer where I rub it on my hands and it smells like that cheap toilet freshener, or like if you've ever been on a French underground train.
Yeah,
like, it smells like the French underground, the Paris underground.
Yeah,
it I cannot stand it, and because of that, it follows you around. Fucking shit.
You got some solidarity here. What do we got here? Darren said that's method, Tim, is what you're looking for.
Yeah, look, that's much better than...
I work with thinners, so that gets me through. Nikki's gone, she's been that as well. Nikki also said, local supermarket smells like coconut sunscreen, medical grade, please. Benjamin's excited about us doing Tigers, which is cool, classic stuff. And then Nudes wants to bin Spotify. Done my head in. Can we just go back to taping songs off the radio? Bin it.
Yeah.
I think if you can find that a way to make it work for you, then enjoy it. I don't think Spotify is going anywhere though, but it's in the bin for you. For me, I am going to do the obvious. I'm going to put COVID in the bin. Fuck me dead. This is going to be tiring. At the same time, I'm going to put the federal government in the bin for their response on this if I am still here. I hope I am. That'll come through, did it, Tim?
Yep.
Yep, cool. All right. So yeah, the federal government and COVID, because at the moment, like we were saying at the very, very start, I don't know if I said it on the air or not, but we keep getting lots and lots of hotspot notifications right within walking distance for us, which is kind of shit. Okay, we're not going anywhere doing anything at the moment because it's everywhere around us at the moment. All the list of spots is just literally walking distance. Anywhere we could go is pretty much where it's at the moment. So we're doing nothing apart from work and home, and that's it. So yeah, that whole thinking in the bin. There we go. That's it from me.
What is it with the northern suburbs?
I don't fucking know. It's I moved out here, right? Because people that know me well know that I used to live in the hills. I used to be in the Basin, Baronia area, and then I went to Cranbourne for a long time, and now we moved up this side of town to be closer to Jody's work. And when I moved out this way in Mill Park, that's when the fire hit behind Uni Hill in Greensboro and all that sort of stuff there, and everyone was going, what the fuck? And I saw, the most action in that regard that I'd seen for a good decade because I was living in the northern suburbs of all places as opposed to the hills. And then now we're in the northern suburbs and it's all fucking what else? The COVID spots are just fucking everywhere. It's just like, I don't know what it is. I've moved out this side of town.
It was the same last time as well.
Yeah, we had a call center shut down not far from here. There was all sorts of stuff going on. The Macca's that was just around the corner from us was one of the ones that got shut down. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? There was some of the aged care facilities weren't far from here. It's all northern suburbs crap. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So it's weird. Very, very weird. What is Nikki going on about? I don't know. Okay, so Darren's gone, I just buy CDs, old school, that's cool. But Nikki's jumped in to say, the text just bleeped out the word shit. This must be in the.
It does the I think on Facebook at least.
Yeah.
It gives us subtitles.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happening here too. So there you go. Let us know if the profanity is coming through, but I don't think it's going to come through. I think they do a pretty good job of censoring it, quote unquote. It was probably good for you, Nikki, earlier on tonight anyway. So that worked out all right in the end for everyone. But I think that's it for now. We'll be back again very, very soon. You got anything else you want to add before we log off, Tim?
No, I'm good.
You're good? All right. We'll leave it there. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Our Stupidity. Hopefully you've had some fun with this while we had some fun, in particular early on. And make sure you check out the music. And yeah, check out the music for yourselves. Give us your thoughts as we go along. And, yeah, keep following our socials so keep up to date with what we're listening to next time. So get involved in the chat again on Thursday with everyone. But we'll have an interview coming on Tuesday night as well. So make sure you check those out, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Until then, I'm Andrew.
Tim.
As always.
Drink up.
Rock on. And now that the official part for the audio is done, we'll say goodbye to the individual platforms one by one. So it's time to say goodbye to Twitter. We'll see you next time.
Oh, Periscope.
Yeah, that's all Periscope gone. And next up is YouTube. We're saying goodbye to YouTube now. So we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys.